все, кто хотел драматически войти в полный зал, уже вошли. Да. I'll switch to English if that's all right for everybody, because we will have some English speakers joining us in about a minute. Hello everybody, my name is Kateryna, I'm a Flex alumna, and I'm now a Global Village alumna. And I would like to thank you all for coming. And the reason we are all here is because there exists a very wonderful program for the last 70 years. It's called Global Village for Future Leaders in Business and Industry. And this program was established by a very important person in the US automobile industry, Iacocca, who probably you don't know by name, but when you talk about a certain kind of Ford Mustang car, you definitely know. So that's the only reason I knew that that was him. But the reason is that this program exists is because he decided once that the future of the world depends on young people like us who need to collaborate and learn from the best of each other. And that's how he organized the business programs that every year brings together around 100 people from 40 to 50 different countries who live together, who work together, who share their skills, who learn from the best speakers and the best professors there are. And at the end, they become one global family who now looks at the global world and they see faces among countries. All the Flex alumni, as a Flex alumni, you are entitled to a scholarship to participate in this program. That's why I will strongly encourage you to participate, and I will have a presentation about the program a bit later. Today, we brought together the GB alumni that live in Kyiv, not only from Ukraine, but from other countries as well, who would like not just to meet and hang out and talk, but to share our knowledge, our experience, and to talk more about what we do, and to hear more from you. On Skype call, we have a very important person for the program, that is Mary Frances Schultz, and if you do decide to apply for the program, you will know her because she is the candidate manager for the program. For the last 20 years, she knows every single person who applied and got in. And now I just would like for each of us to introduce each other, what we do, why we are here, maybe we are interested in something special, and very soon Mary Frances will join us online also to say hi. So, Sushan, would you like to start? Maybe Oля?
Okay, I can start. Hi, my name is Ksenia. I'm GB 15. Returned from GB more than a year ago. Here in Ukraine, I and my colleague Oля, we develop green startup ecosystems. So we develop eco-entrepreneurs and startups who work in energy and sustainable topics.
Yes.
Yeah.
We can see you.
And I think that's Mary Frances.
Still
in the show.
But 1 second, Mary Frances.
Okay, it's coming.
Yeah, you can just
Направо.
Yeah. Do we have it?
Yes.
Yes, we have it. Okay, look, I want to turn it so you can see everybody. Yeah, we can hear you now.
Okay.
So as I was saying, we have here in the
Typing. Oh my goodness. I feel like we're on the big screen.
we have here two very important groups of people for me in my life, because we have the Global Village alumni who I'm excited to meet, and we also have alumni of the Flex program, another US government exchange program whom I am advocating to this so remember their faces because I'm sure you will see them on the application progress. And we were just beginning to introduce who we have here among the Global Village alumni and the Flex alumni. So we have Ksenia from last year. Ksenia,
Hi, Kateryna.
Hello, Mary Francis.
Hello, sweetie. So good to see you.
Good to see you too.
So now you're gonna. How many people are you gonna send me this year?
Ooh.
How many do we have there? Because they're all gonna want to come once they talk to you.
Okay, how many non-Global Village alumni do we have?
We have,
1, 2.
Wow.
yeah, we have around,
Six.
Yeah, 6 or 7.
okay, and would you like to introduce yourself?
Yes, like, okay, let me say hi to my princess.
Well, hello, sweetie. How are you?
Thank you, how about you?
Oh, very good. You behaving yourself, staying safe, and
I'm trying to.
no, you're always involved in something that's a little risky. Let's be honest.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the whole group so we know you more?
Do you want to do it now or after finishing tonight?
Yes, no, do it now. I want to meet everybody
Just
over
to
there.
hear what you do
Okay.
now, where you're from, and
Yeah.
things like that.
I'm also GB15. My name is Esker. I'm originally from Baku, Azerbaijan, but I live in here. I'm also a Flex alumni. And I'm working here as a trader in English company, commodities trading. And this is my wife, Sabina. She's not GB or no Flex, but we love to hang out together. So I brought her with me. So that's pretty much it.
Hey, you weren't going to introduce your wife to me? Come on, Oscar. How can you be like that? Let me see your better half.
Yeah, of course.
Hello, it's a pleasure to meet you. Take care of him. Make sure he behaves.
Okay, Anthony, would you like to introduce yourself to everybody?
Sure. Sure. Hey, Mary Francis.
Hi. Oh, hello. How are you? You're looking good.
Good, thank you. You too. Hey everyone, my name is Andriy. I'm alumni of GV14. Here in Ukraine, I'm working in IT startup called Preply, which is the global marketplace for tutoring. I am an IT guy. I'm a lead developer, full stack lead developer, so I'm like all about this kind of stuff. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, we have Ira.
Yes, and you have to say hi. Very Francis, because it's been a while.
It's been way too long. Hello, Steve. How are you? It's good to see you.
Good to see you too. I'm very happy to see you.
You look terrific.
Thank you.
I know somehow you guys look a little bit older and more grown up to me, but I just feel younger, so I don't know.
You do. You look young. You look the same. Actually, as I remember, it seems like geez, then.
I know, it doesn't seem possible, does it? I can't believe we had 20 years of the village already.
Yeah,
Amazing, amazing.
it is. Well, so I'll introduce myself and won't take time.
I'm GB10, so it's been a
And
while.
Flex, what Flex are you also?
4. 4, so a dinosaur. Yes, and I'm here in Ukraine right now involved in entrepreneurship. So I kind of running my small business with my sister.
What kind of
I'm involved with the fashion design, so that's what I'm doing right now. Well, for now.
And she's flexed 2004, but that doesn't make her old. That just makes her more experienced.
I hope so.
Absolutely.
Okay, and we have Anna Zubko.
Hi, Mary Francis.
Hello, Anna. How are you?
Hey, I'm also one of the more experienced ones. So, hi.
Hi. Oh, it's so good to see you.
And we're expecting Kostya. I don't know whether or not he's coming, but I came back yesterday from New York, and he's flying in from Dubai. So it's going to be a great. So GV 2007
And Flex?
and Flex 2002, 2003. So really can share with you what happens after Flex, a number of years after, and what happens in GV, and how it makes a difference for you. So I'm an entrepreneur for almost 10 years. So I have started till now 5 companies, been investing in companies. So it's been quite a journey. Right now we are 48 people. It's an IT company running and introducing blockchain technology into financial institutions worldwide. So close to 200 projects, 26 countries, offices across a number of locations. So it's New York, Chicago, Kiev, Brussels, where we're headquartered now, and Lisbon. But what's great is that a lot of that would not be possible without Global Village Alumni. And I believe we will be talking a little bit more after that, but Mary Frances, thank you and all the team from Lehigh for making this possible and making the difference in my life and life of everybody.
Well, you're very sweet, but the truth is that it's the global villagers that make the difference. We just create the forum and the atmosphere, and as you know, most of what you learned that was really important, you learned from your fellow villagers, and that's what makes it so great, is because you guys are really, really special, and I just feel so honored to be part of your GV network. I really do. I actually was talking to another one of your Global Village alums a couple of days ago. He was in New York, so Vladimir Kobrin also says hi. He's you know, from Ukraine, but he's working right now in the Czech Republic. No, I'm sorry, the Slovak Republic. So
And
he's
Vlad, the guy from Kazakhstan, was also saying hi. So he moved from New York to London, but they were just recently staying and visiting, and we went to visit Florida for vacation. So like the network is live. I'm seeing every other week. Global Village alumni Nelly Ortiz, who's working now for IDM. Also, our Albania alumnus, Ilber Dauti.
oh my goodness, he's doing amazing stuff in New York.
Who has started his own legal company, like just being self-taught in English and getting scholarship from Saras at the time. So like really extraordinary people are becoming part of Global Village, and then you become part of this network regardless what year you're in. So it's really like life-changing. Thank you.
Well, thank you, sweetheart. I'm sending you a big hug, all of you.
Likewise.
And we also have a GV alumni from Spain, Alfonso. Would you like to say hi to
Spain?
Mary
Yeah.
Frances?
Can you see me from there?
No, you have to come out.
No, over here, let me see.
Hola, hola.
Oh my goodness, what are you doing in Ukraine?
So first of all, I introduce myself to everyone else because they don't know
Okay.
me yet. Yeah? I just know
Okay.
Ksenia and a few others. So hi everyone, I am Alfonso. I'm from Spain. GB06. I used to fall asleep every morning, and Mary Frances would wake me up singing a Mexican song, Las Mañanitas. I don't know if you remember still.
Sure,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So, guys, I now live in Ukraine. I'm very happy to meet you all. I've known Ksenia for a few months. I was dreaming of having a reunion where we could all meet, but I'm really glad. I just arrived, so I think. So, I'm very glad to meet you all. I really hope today I won't be able to stay for long, but I really hope we can organize more stuff, do more stuff together. It's really a great network. For me, it constitutes an amazing opportunity to know great people in Ukraine. It's not always so easy to meet other people. So I'll be more than happy to meet you anytime. I work for Mary Frances. I'm now working for an institution called the European Bank for Reconstruction and Development.
Oh, very cool.
I was sent to Ukraine on assignment, initially for 2 months, which became 5 months, which became 1 year, which became 2 years, which is about to become 3 years at least. So, by the way, it's a great country. If you haven't visited, now you have plenty of friends here. It's a must visit, really, really. It's changing.
Promise you, I'll put it on the top of my list. We have a lot of changes that are going to be happening, as you all know, because Dick Brandt is retiring. They're going to have a new director. They'll be looking at what they're going to do for the direction for, you know, going forward. But I'm very excited that there's going to be all sorts of wonderful things that are going to happen now in the next decade. And certainly our new vice president is very, very, very pro Global Village, thinks it's the best program, and absolutely loves our alumni. So that's a good thing. The new president's name is Cheryl. Did you meet Cheryl when she was in London?
I met her in London, yeah.
Oh, okay. So you can share that with them. She's going to be in India in a couple of weeks, and she's going to be meeting with our Indian alumni. So she's going to be going all over the world, and I will certainly recommend to her that she make one of her visits to Ukraine and maybe take me along. That would be great.
No, that would be great. It's changing a lot. There's a lot to see, so you need to come. Anyway,
Okay.
I don't want to take more of your time. Nice to meet you all.
Okay, Mary Frances, now I would like you to quickly meet the potential global villagers. So
Okay.
everybody can just stand up and tell a little bit about yourself. That would be great.
Hi, I'm Vlad, and I'm Flex alumni of 2016. Yeah, I'm a lot into engineering and business. I like it a lot. So I would like to see you soon.
So are you in, first of all, what did you say your name was?
Vlad, V-L-A-D.
Vlad.
Yeah.
Vlad. Okay, Vlad, did you, are you in university now, or you're still
Yeah.
in the high school?
Yeah, I'm in university. It's Kyiv Polytechnical Institute.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'll be looking forward to reading your application.
Thank you.
Hi, nice to meet you. My name is Alina Kozer, and I'm alumna of 2016, so I just came back. I'm really excited to start my own project with Vlad too, and I just became a city representative of Flex, so I'm excited to do good things.
Congratulations.
Thank you, and well, I'll certainly apply for Global Village too.
Well, I tell you, that's definitely one of our Global Village criteria, is that we want people that are really interested in making a positive change in their communities, in their countries, in the world. So I'm so glad to hear you're working with your city. That's really great.
Thank you.
Lots of success, and I also look forward to reading your application.
Thank you.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Sasha. I'm also Flex alumni of 2016. I'm still in high school, but I'm really motivated to do some cool stuff, especially after the US. And I'm really excited to apply for the program and learn a little more about it.
Okay, so you're still in high school. When do you graduate from high school?
This year.
Okay. So you're probably a little young to do the village this year, but in a couple of years, because we want you to already be out of high school and preferably in university by the time you apply.
Okay, great.
Okay, but I'm looking forward to reading it next year, or not this, okay,
Sure.
Sasha?
Sure. Thank you. Nice to meet you.
Thank you. Excuse me.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Valeria. I am Flex alumni 2016, and I'm already studying in university. In National Bank University, I'm studying international economy, and I'm already doing my projects about health and people with special needs.
Excellent.
So I'm very interested in your program. I will
Make
apply
sure
for
you mention all of that in your application, because maybe one of the alumni, Kateryna, someone's already told you, but it's very important to us to have people that are interested in working with some of the people that are underprivileged, whether it's because of physical or mental disabilities, or because they don't have the financial resources to do. So certainly sustainability in every level, whether it's poverty or health or energy, is a very, very important topic for the world right now, and so for the Global Village as well. So it's a pleasure to meet you, and I hope I'll get to meet you soon again here in the States, the Global Village. Does anybody have any questions for me about the Global Village, how it works, or?
We will have that kind of session a bit later, but we have two more people to represent. Ira?
Oh.
Okay. Hey, my name is Ira. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
I'm a Flex alumna 2009. Right now, I'm a graduate, almost a graduate of Kiev-Mohila School of Public Health. I used to work in communications for 4 years, so Katya and I, we're colleagues. She was actually my boss.
How lucky were you?
Yeah, I know. And right now, I'm trying to hire her to the Ministry of Health, whom I started to work with.
Oh, excellent. What are you doing with the Ministry of Health?
We're doing the reform. We're planning it for the primary health care. Yeah,
excellent.
So we're working on the plan, and we're planning to implement it in 2017.
Well, lots of luck to you. I hope it goes very well.
Thank
Certainly
you.
a worthy cause to be working
Thank
for.
you. Thank you.
And we have a last Flex alumna.
Yay! Hi, my name is Aliona, and I also just came back from States. Flex alumni 2016. I went to university to. I'm studying international affairs, and I get so excited and so inspired being in the States and doing all the community work and projects. So as soon as I got to university, I started my own English club, because a lot of children at university complain because they didn't have enough opportunities to learn English. And I was just so motivated and really wanted to do so much stuff like you guys have in the States, like volunteering and community projects. So I'm trying to be active and do the teamwork for students in Ukraine, because they don't have so much knowledge about that. So I'm really excited to get more maybe experience by doing this and other programs, Global Village. So
where did you study in the States in high school?
Which state?
In which state?
Arizona.
Arizona. Okay, I thought maybe you were in the Northeast, because you talk like I do with lots of hands and very fast. So I said maybe she's from the New York or New Jersey.
No, it's my personality. I'm always so active.
Good. Don't change. I happen to like that, but that's who I am too.
Okay. Thank you. It was really nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too, Alona. And one of the other people I forgot to ask you, where did you study the same? Sasha, where did you study?
I've also been to Arizona, and I've been like to Sierra Vista. It's in the southern part.
Oh, very good, very good. And I forgot your name. Oh, right next to Sasha.
Lena.
Lena.
Yeah, I was hosted in Arkansas, so hey y'all. Yeah, I'm from South. Yeah.
Well, that may be where our next president is from, right? If,
Yeah, Tom Cotton, right? No,
I bet you glad.
And I've been to Wisconsin, and it was Black River Falls, that is on the west of the Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Mary Frances, can you hear us?
I can, yes.
Okay.
But lost it for a second. I heard what Vlad said, but what my question was whether anybody was in a big city or you were all like in smaller towns and in countryside.
Smaller town.
I was
Yes.
in Anchorage, Alaska. It's a kind of a big city.
Yes. But what an experience that must have been. I've never been to Alaska. I understand
Yeah.
it's absolutely beautiful there.
It's amazing.
And we have Kostya who joined us. Would you like to say hi to Mary Frances?
Of course.
Hello.
Where is the camera?
There. It's in the
Do you
computer.
see me, Mary
You can
Frances?
come up.
See, you come up closer if you want me to give you a hug. Yeah, come on. Don't be shy.
We have two cameras. That's the live camera for everybody who's watching us, right? Hi, say hi. And that's Mary Frances.
I don't know which camera to say hi. Which camera should I have to a hug?
Yes, here's your hug. Yep, this is fun. So good to see you. How are you, Buster?
Very good, thank you.
Okay, it was nice seeing you, Mary Frances. We will now proceed with our small TED Talks that everybody actually came to hear.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Listen, all I want to tell all of you is just dream. Keep dreaming, keep believing, because if you don't dream it, you can never achieve it. And you are an amazing group of young people. And believe me, my generation is depending upon you. You are our future. So we've been talking a lot this past year about the fact that the Global Village just celebrated its 20th anniversary. But as I said to this year's class, it's not about the past, what we accomplished the last 20 years. It's about the present and the future. And you are the present and the future. And I know that if you want to, you can change the world. And I really hope, sincerely, that I get to meet all of you at some point in the Global Village. And to my alumni, I hope you just know that no matter how much you say you love me, I always love you more. Keep dancing, and I miss you. Bye.
Okay, bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, guys, so without furthermore time, I think we would go ahead to what we came here for, right? The TED Talks,
I
where...
actually came for that.
Yeah, I know that many of you came for the special interview with Mary Frances, but Ksenia here wants to share with us something that she has been working with, and that's a sustainable green geeks. That's what you call it, Ksush?
What?
Green geeks?
Yeah, energy geeks. Just a second. We have a minor. You do business technology.
That's
Just
Press.
cross.
That's fine.
Okay.
that's it.
Just choose one.
Okay, so I have from 7 to 10 minutes, right?
Yes. You do.
Let's try. Okay, so hi. Again, my name is Ksenia, and I work at Greencubator. That's the nonprofit that hunts for energy talent. Open air, solar power, they're full of interesting gadgets, drones, electric vehicles, and Tesla Coil. They're full of wonderful people who are inspired and who are eager to change energy system and energy in Ukraine, who are eager to make it more sustainable and greener. And our core belief is that makers, creators, innovators, energy geeks are sexy, and we prove it to the world. And today I will share with you some of the stories of those energy geeks. It was winter of 2014-2015. It was cold, it was full of uncertainty. We had blackouts all over the country. It was very depressing. It was not of the happiest times in the country and in our office. We were lost, we didn't know what to do, and we were desperate to find a way to serve our country beyond volunteering and crowdfunding. And the inspiration came from the other part of the world, from the article that we read about that one day in the United States, where communities all over the country in 100 cities of the United States come together and hack for solutions for local and national challenges. There is a series of hackathons, parallel hackathons happening simultaneously in different cities of Ukraine, where people from all around the area come and look and search for solutions for various challenges. And we thought, okay, why not make something like that in Ukraine? And one of my favorite TED speakers, Derek Sivers, says that it takes one lonely nut and a crazy follower to create a movement. So we were happy to have those crazy friends from all around the country who, when we called them, they said, yes, sure, why not make something together? And they were crazy enough to go on board with us. And that's how the first parallel hackathon focused on energy freedom was created. It was called Hack for Energy, and it took place in 5 different cities of Ukraine. In those 5 cities, over 140 participants came and they hacked for solutions. They coded, they worked with hardware, they made presentations, they pitched their ideas, and they also didn't forget to have fun and to enjoy the process. And who were the people behind Hack for Energy? Who were those friends who made this all possible? So meet Sergey. He was head of engineering at one of our open-air hackathons, Tesla Camp. He put all the solar panels. He was responsible for all the energy supply of the camp. And then he moved to Ternopil, and he organized in this small city in Western Ukraine, he organized one of the most vibrant and one of the most ambitious teams that took majority of national prizes at the first Hack for Energy. Or that's how they actually hacked under the table. That was their lounge zone. And this is Victor from Cherniv team. At first, Victor didn't even pronounce word hackathon right. He messed it up. But after Hack for Energy, he became so inspired by the idea and by the process that together with the city mayor, he organized Smart City Hackathon in Cherniv, and he became the advocate of green movement in the city. So he was the person responsible for installing the first electric vehicle charger in Cherniv. Or meet Anna. Anna is from Odessa. We met with her at the International European Youth Parliament event. She's smart, she works for IT company. She joined our Hack for Energy organizing process just a week before the event. But she was so dedicated to make it happen that nothing stopped her. And she actually, that's her and our Hack for Energy teams. And this is Anna's office 2 days before the event. At night, her office, entrance to her office was blown up. When she came to work, there was a glass shattered on her table. And we were shocked. She was probably also shocked. When we learned about that and we gave her a call and said, hey, Anya, maybe we should cancel Hack for Energy in Odessa. It's not the right time to do it here right now. And maybe let's take it easy. Maybe try not to force it on. She said, no way, we're gonna make it. It's going to happen in Odessa. And she made it. Odessa was one of the most active cities in Hack for Energy movement, and they had also very strong teams. And next edition of Hack for Energy scaled up to 11 cities around the country, and it became a movement when cities connected to us and they told us, hey, we want to host Hack for Energy in our cities. Hey, why our cities is not on the map? So it grew up a lot, and I judge that this is the only way we can take a selfie with Hack for Energy organizers, because some of them we haven't even met yet in person. Of course, 48 hours is not enough to find solutions for all the world problems. It's not enough to find solutions for Ukrainian energy challenges, but it is enough to set a direction, to get people around the table and start discussing and start talking. And one of the outcomes of Hack for Energy is a network of people who are always ready to support our next project and our next initiatives. For example, one of the teams that was born at Hack for Energy in Gridin just recently, just 2 weeks ago, won the Ukrainian national final of the biggest clean tech competition in Europe called Climate Launchpad. And that will represent Ukraine in Tallinn in just next month. And this community of innovators and energy geeks and creators, makers, it's not a typical startup community that you would think about. There are people from all ages, from different occupations. There are university professors who create innovative beehives, or professionals who are well in their career, but they still want to make something new and innovate. There are business people, there are IT guys, there are wonderful designers, or aquaponic activists. And all of them are united by the idea to create something new, not to agree with the status quo, to change the world around them. And they are energy heroes, and they are the energy geeks that we argue are sexy. And we are open, we're always in the search for those energy heroes and energy geeks all around the country and beyond. And we even got so inspired that we created the Energy Heroes series by showcasing some of the people who were at the forefront of energy innovations in Ukraine. And if we have just a couple of minutes, I will be happy to show you one of the videos that we made about energy. Okay. Would you like?
Да, такая пауза. Я не в курсе, я это все инициировал, но я сейчас, честно говоря, я не в состоянии выступать, потому что у меня маленький ребенок и была полубессонная ночь, поэтому я извинился перед каждым, теперь вам не видите, потому что я поеду домой. Все было развито.
До встречи.
Спокойной ночи.
Спасибо.
Okay, it looks like it takes a little bit more time to find the video. But I just want to tell you one more story about our energy heroes. So we just finished the Ukrainian part of this Climate Launchpad, the biggest clean tech competition in Europe. And and we have 3 teams going to the European final in Tallinn. So if you like our page, you can see who are the teams and what they do. But one of the teams that didn't get into the actually didn't get into the final, but they're very Anya again. Can we just show it a little bit later?
There's one.
Because I think. Oh, okay, we have it. Okay.
You live in the world of open source technologies. Your phone, your computer, your smart TV, your internet, all of them are full of open source components. Open source software, right? The web, a large part of the world. What if energy technologies could be open source? That's the idea behind Energy Touring, empowering people by collaboratively designing and sharing the key energy technologies for farmers, makers, industrialists, and enthusiasts. Energy freedom can be open source.
Energy Touring project is a community effort to create an open source renewable energy construction set. We do that by a community of technically creative people here in Kyiv. The core idea is to share technical expertise, technical experience with our colleagues throughout the world and of course locally here in Ukraine. We have seen that huge success of all kinds of open source products like Linux, like Wikipedia, and hundreds of other open source projects. We want to bring the same to
Yeah, always. Yeah, let's make it less. Okay, it's gonna be more quality.
renewable energy. We call it energy democracy. We strongly believe that energy democracy comes from open source. We think that if we provide people the results of our research, of our development, of our effort, they can use it in all kinds of ways. That brings a whole bunch of advantages. Practically, it means that you can download all the drawings and technical instructions from our wiki, and you can build it yourself, be it a solar power station or windmill or biogas station. You can do that, everything of that yourself. That is pretty much how it works. We started out as a local Ukrainian initiative, but we grow steadily, and we see that we need to go globally because we see that the ideas and the idea sharing is quickly starting to become global. And people from India coming to us and saying, "Hey, we want to join your project." We strongly believe that true sustainability heavily relies on people sharing ideas with each other to build something that would provide us a source of green and clear energy, and then to share that with the whole world, because we understand that their idea will come to us later and they will benefit this whole blue-green planet, and that empowers people.
And just to add to that, when Tesla Motors and Elon Musk opened up their patent base, you can see more and more electric cars from China and from other parts of the world. Very strong companies right now putting their cars on the market. So open source can play a very good part in the opening up the market and pushing some new technologies on the market. So we're open to the new clean tech and energy talents. And thank you for your attention.
Without any extra introduction,
I
I will help with the. Say hi to Zinchenko, right?
Oh yeah, right.
I've been we knew each other for a number of years, so it's amazing to see how the initiative has grown, and it's amazing what you are doing there. So thank you so much for sharing. All right, guys. So my goal to be here is, and I don't know, is someone there also listening to us online? Check. So just to also, so just for everybody here, the goal of my TED talk was to share about, like, look at different aspects of rational and emotional in business and driving business success. Since we are here and many of you just came back from Flex and you're considering Global Village, would you like to change that somewhat, talking about Global Village and what you can get out of it, both on rational and emotional side? Or would you prefer to talk about business? And so I would just, I don't know. First option? So the first option is like what initially I planned is to talk about how you can apply various emotional and rational measurements to drive business.
And the second?
And the second is talk about various aspects, possibly the same aspects, but the Global Village program, and what you can get out of it.
Let's talk about first, and
Okay.
then afterwards I can.
Okay.
Everything in 10 minutes.
All right. So who from the group believes that you are a rational individual, more than emotional? Like, do we have
Russian.
Okay. Andrei, you're in IT, so I guess mathematics, logic, right? So all the rest are emotional?
I'm very balanced, I think.
Okay, cool. So when looking at business, very often we are we're there to believe that business is started to generate profit, right? Unless it's an NGO, it's a very rational cause to employ people, to pay salaries, as well as to generate profit. So from rational side, there should be certain KPIs in place. So many of you are probably familiar with key performance indicators, right? Mm-hmm. Are you familiar also with the concept of Google's OKRs, Objectives, Key Results? All right, so this is the next level that Google has invented, introduced, and now it's picked up by many companies in Silicon Valley. OKR stands for Objectives, Key Results, and it helps a number of, pretty much every employee say, okay, this is the objectives that we as a company and my department and myself looking to achieve, for example, to conquer certain markets, right? And key results is how are we going to measure that we have achieved it. I don't know, like X sales of Google AdWords, or it's possible to measure it by number of clicks, or whatever measurable results are there. So that's the rational part of the conversation. And business, of course, has a bunch of other departments. And you all came back from US, so you had the opportunity probably to also experience way more business-oriented and applicable disciplines. Like in my Flex year, I took like 4 marketing classes a day because I really wanted to become successful in marketing at the time. I had no idea that I would start the business, but at that time I started drafting business plans and competing in business plan competitions. And then when I came back, I looked around. Ukraine is really a land of opportunity. Not even US, because US is really very saturated market. So I work on both markets, so I can compare and I can tell you from real experience. Europe is super regulated, boring. Sorry if any Europeans here. And United States is just very saturated market. So Ukraine for me was a great opportunity. First I started tour guiding business, coming back, speaking the language, bringing here, then bridging investors with businesses in Ukraine and with opportunities in Ukraine. Went for internship to Parliament of Ukraine, which is also, I will encourage you, I believe this program still exists, so you can be an assistant to someone in Verkhovna Rada and potentially like build a network and see how you could influence the world. So like just from my own experience, really like rational component is very important. But then also there's an emotional component, and majority of you recognize that you actually have that component as a dominant. So this summer, I was very privileged to be in Stanford University as part of the Global Entrepreneurship Summit. And in the future, whoever of you will become entrepreneurs, I really would encourage you to apply for this program. This is a program that is supported by President's administration. So it was started by President Obama several years ago, and each year it's in different place. So this year it was in Stanford, in the heart of Silicon Valley. So the amazing part of it was, of course, to mingle with those entrepreneurs from Mark Zuckerberg, that you all know, to Travis Kalanick, to like founder of Uber, right? The Reid Hoffman, who's founder of LinkedIn. So like really amazing high-level individuals from the entrepreneurship style. And the key there was that business is driven not as much and as such by key figures and KPIs, performance. Of course, every business needs to make money unless it's like fundraising or sponsoring. But there's also should be certain way of making a difference. For like Google is putting customer as a center of all innovations, like providing all the difference to our everyday life, right? You can imagine life without Gmail today, without Google Maps, with what wasn't available just a few years ago. So the emotional factor and a very important trend that I see coming out of Silicon Valley is something called social entrepreneurship. And this is really where, aside from just a good business plan and good business model, you look into creating something like what we just saw in the amazing presentation by Ksenia, like where you also look to create certain unquantifiable but very important differentiator for the community, right? The community you're in, the world, doesn't matter on which scale, but it's really like, how are you going to create a dent in the universe and make a difference for 1 billion of people? So you're here, all the leaders, like coming out from amazing programs, and now really the future, not only of your lives, but the future of the next generation is in your hands. And sustainability is one of the big topics. I'm really an advocate for that. So examples. So one of the inspiring examples that I met a woman from Japan who started Uber for handicapped. So her mother was slowly developing paralysis, so she couldn't really easily move from place to place, and she was a primary caregiver. And she discovered that in Japan, just in Tokyo itself, there's 10,000 people with disability who have limited ability to move. And that, she also recognized that there was no really easy way, rather with a regular car, to move for someone in a wheelchair. So she created a fleet of 11 cars. It's like an ambulance where a person in a wheelchair can very easily like roll into the car, get fastened, and get wherever they want to go, whether it's like a doctor appointment or just the movies, right? So bringing that additional difference and quality of life to that group of people that were underprivileged, or, you know, and they are making money. So the amazing thing about it is it's not a nonprofit. And I believe in social entrepreneurship because it's an enterprise that makes and brings social good into society, but without donations or like schemas or dependency. So, you know, someone just being generous and giving the money. So that's an amazing thing, and I would really encourage you to look at that potential difference making. So there's also just an idea like with this woman in China who created a network of Chinese who received foreign education, who were bringing, and they were collaborating on what they could create in China. And they came out with fantastic business ideas, from just like a local Chinese brewery, like bringing Belgian beer to China and creating that difference for Chinese there. like brewing Belgian-like beer in China instead of importing it. So really, like, and by the way, Global Village has a lot of that business touch. So again, not to create an extra super advertisement for the program, but for me, it was really the place where I felt very natural and very inspired, because, and again, Global Villagers support me in that, where the emotional factor of creating this absolutely amazing network of people from various countries in the world who have expertise in different segments. And my Global Village, for example, one of the projects that I work with in a group of 7 people was designing and agreeing on how are we going to invest for investor, like in real estate, whether we would like to buy real estate and make certain difference in Lima, Peru, or in Santiago de Chile, or what was the third one? The Latin American place. Anyway, doesn't matter. So really, like, coming back to the topic of like emotional involvement, consider looking at that unmeasurable part in what you do potentially for business. Well, at this point, last but not least, I would also encourage you to look into something called HeroX. And HeroX is a program and a community of people who can contribute ideas in solving the global grand challenges. And you may or may not have heard about Singularity University. So it's Peter Diamandis. This group of people at some point just got together corporations to go and provide significant funding in order to make a difference in the world. And smaller groups of people, so they started to create competitions and prizes in order to facilitate innovation ecosystems around the world, to solve problems like sending the spaceship to space for 100 kilometers, having it come back, and then sending it again within 2 weeks without repair necessary. And they have achieved it, right? And right now, so there's like 9 competitions this year. I've been contributing to one of those on making a difference in the food production, ensuring so 2 billion people have malnutrition. 800 million people are starving in the world. So the question, like, what's not working in this world from the food perception, from the way food is produced and distributed, and there is like big debate about GMO, whether it's good or bad, regardless of that. So there is also problems being solved, such as ending cancer, right, the big one. So really, like, to cut it short, you can go online and check it out. It's called X Prize. And then HeroX is a subset, which is kind of sub-project started by one of the people from Singularity University, where everyone in the world can suggest their solution or contribute in a crowdsourcing manner to solution of certain global problems that they're caring about, and then potentially find opportunity or connect with other like-minded people and make a career out of it. So I think I will cut short. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. As now, after we have a couple more speakers, so I won't take the stage like any longer. And yeah, thank you so much.
Thank you, Anna. By the way, it was really one of the most important challenges for me before, how to unite my social projects, because in the NGO and social projects and my business aspirations, and after the GB, this was no longer a debate for me. I realized that healthy business can bring healthy societies, and it really made a great difference to me. So what I would like to talk to you about is about your brain. Okay, have you ever thought about how we learn? Have you ever thought about how we actually get to know things? Of course, there are books at school. There are certain special programs to teach you English, but how do you really learn when you're a child? About 20 years ago, scientists in Italy, they were studying how the monkey brain motor parts work. So they would put electrodes to the parts of the brain that are responsible for movements, and they would make monkey to do different kinds of movements, particularly eat something. And the electrons would beep in a certain way if the monkey eats and goes up or down. Well, what happened is that they were on a break, and the electrodes were still connected, and the researcher comes into the room and he eats a peanut, and all of a sudden the monkey's brain starts to beep. The monkey's brain actually reacted to somebody eating a peanut in exactly the same way as if the monkey itself was eating a peanut. Your brain has this special kind of cells that are called mirror neurons that actually imitate everything you see, everything you hear, and everything you think about. So for your brain, physiologically speaking, to kick a ball, to see someone kicking a ball, and to hear the ball being kicked is the same thing for your brain. And there's this thing that they say that if you take a newborn baby that is older than 2 hours and you stick a tongue to the baby will do the same in response. I checked it on my sister, and it really works. That's your mirror neurons kicking into place. The scientists, they have been asking how long have you had these mirror neurons, and they say that approximately, probably, they started to develop 50,000 years ago, because this is when the big spike in our culture happened. This is when all the tools and craftsmanship, and this is when people actually started to learn from each other. Instead of forgetting when the person learns something and then loses it, somebody else picks it up. So the mirror neurons, they also teach you to recognize facial expressions. They also teach you empathy. For example, they teach you social understanding of somebody's action. How do you understand if somebody is raising a hand in a question or just raising a hand in a random movement? That's your mirror neurons telling you what is the intent for that action. Because when we study people with autism disorders who are not well adjusted socially, scientists found out that they have a break in their mirror neuron system. So basically, they use logic and context of a situation to interpret the action. So for them, a glass always means to drink. But for you, when you see somebody take a glass to drink water, it's one part of your brain that reacts to it. But when you see the same person take the same glass to take it away from the table, it's a separate kind of mirror neurons that start firing in your brain. You already know what the other person is going to do. Just because your mirror neurons are connected to your neighbor's neurons, you're not connected by Facebook or by social networks. We are all connected by feeling each other, not by thinking about our actions. We actually have this inner radar that helps us understand each other by feeling each other. This is our ability to empathize comes from. The so-called Gandhi effect is that the feelings of the other person greatly affect your feelings of the situation. It really works. There was a study, if you know that, for example, if I say that I'm a completely happy person, and there is another say that says I'm a miserable person. So statistically speaking, we say that I'm 100% happier than my friend. Well, my friend will be 50% happier than his friend. And the third connection of mine, my friend's friend, whom I don't know and I've never met, will be 20 to 30% happier than my friend's third friend. This is a study that actually happens saying that happiness is contagious. It's just because you imitate smile. That's why they say when you speak, smile to people, because your brain imitates it in your head. You might not, well, you say, okay, if my brain looks at you walking, why don't I walk? Well, that's because it's called power of the will, right? You have developed, when you grow up, you have developed a certain control of your body. You have developed a certain control of your movements. So when you see somebody dancing, you really want to join, but you control whether you do it or not. But this is as kind of a therapy that is now being used for phantom pains when somebody has lost their arm or leg and they still feel the pain. What they do is that they show them projection of themselves having that part of body, and they
massage it or give you a certain kind of painkiller shot to immobilize that part of body, and it really helps. Because your brain really tells you that, well, this problem is being taken care of. Have you ever wondered why people play video games? Why people watch porn? It's because when we see something, for our brain, it's almost the same as doing it. Of course, it works much better in reality. In general, our mirror neurons work, like the transmission is more clear when we are in real life. But it still works when you watch, and that's why there is a big discussion about violence on TV and how it affects our children and how it affects other people. But it really works. So why do you think I'm telling you about such science in a TED Talk for leadership, business, and personal development? And that is because I want you to realize that you can do everything. And it's not because I have a motivational speech and I really like you guys and I want you to succeed. You are biologically wired to do whatever you want. Because all you have to do, you have to visualize it, dream it, see it, and go do it. Thank you very much. And we have a last speech for today. Ira, please. Don't be shy. Okay. Hello, everyone. Ira, one second. Of course, initial thing would be that all the GV alumni would present a TED Talk so we get to know what you're doing, what you're about. But we then found out that out of 30 people who are alumni of GV, maybe less than 10 live in Ukraine. And not everybody obviously can come and prepare for a speech. So I asked my friend Ira to talk about something that I feel very passionate about, and that is TV series.
Yeah, so I'll be like, I don't know, an ad for this advertising, for this inspiring talks, smart talks. And I will talk about low-level entertainment called TV. So I will start with a question because that's like, I don't know, custom for TED Talks. So which one do you like best? TV series or books, like novels or sci-fi?
They don't have books on Suits.
No, which one you personally like best? Like you feel for whatever.
If
you just you like to watch them. Oh,
They heard of flowers and trees.
No, you have only two options.
You have only two options.
Don't think out of the box.
You're just too like flex and jiggy and stuff. You just need to tell you have two options. It's just two.
Well,
Please, I have a plan.
Digital options that would actually keep trees in the parks.
And sustainability.
So watching TV or reading books. Please raise your hand
Watching
for
TV.
watching TV. Okay, just TV series. 3 people reading books.
Yes.
I guess the rest. Okay. I would think that many of you wouldn't like TV and TV shows because many of us have imagined it in this way, in this kind of way. So we remember our childhood TV shows, not maybe for everybody. Some people may not know Kamyanska. That's
Rebel Away. 16, do you know Rebel Away?
Nope.
No, that's Angel.
It's
Angel something.
Brava.
Oh,
Еха Brava. That's Дикий Ангел.
Dикий Ангел, да.
Yeah, that's the one.
Well,
so many of you probably don't like TV shows because we all think that it's pop culture, but it's just bullshit. People are stuffed, brains are stuffed with ideas they don't need to have. But afterwards, we're seeing this kind of stuff. So Washington Post, The Telegraph, the Wall Street Journal are writing about TV shows. I have found thousands of articles about 10 favorite TV shows of Barack Obama and stuff. Why are we talking about this bullshit TV? And what if I told you that TV and books are not actually that different? that it's taking a smart word discourse. Okay, welcome. They still don't see me.
No, we just too far.
So in the discourse place, they're pretty much the same. I'll leave this part. So let me back you up so that you know some kind of history behind it. So when did we start to have free time? Okay, that's a culture studies question. It's around 18th century when people actually started to have fun, and it was somehow not in the state or in the church discourse. It was the fun that you own yourself. And that was the time when the books started to appear, and they were published again, not by the state, not by the church, but the authors and by the publishing houses. And first, they were novels for ladies. So kind of soap operas that ladies would enjoy in their free time, looking in the window, still not yet drinking coffee and thinking about him, but they would read the books thinking about him. They were simple stuff, and they were very popular. For the state and the church, again, that was a low-level entertainment. They would say that they're devil stuff. You don't need to read it, you don't need to listen to it, you don't need to buy it. And then we come to the 20th century, when the TV appeared. Again, it was a kind of a freedom. This small box of pictures, first it was a miracle. Only people with money and only people in the West could buy it. And it was a place that would gather families, and they would watch it and be amazed at what they can see right now. But afterwards, in just 20 years, it appeared. So it appeared around the 33rd year, I would say. And then in 20 years, it would also become a pop culture, and people would say that it's a bullshit and we don't need to buy it, you don't need to watch it, not read it. And afterwards, somehow novels become high literature. And we're talking that we have to read it. We need to gain the ideas from novels. And afterwards, in somehow 50 years, we are gaining ideas from sitcoms and from TV shows. So what else do they have in common? Well, novels have not always been thick, big books. Actually, they came out in parts. So chapter after chapter, they would appear in newspapers, just the way our TV shows appear episode by episode. Why were they so popular? Because where would you learn about life? For novels, it was either Bible or what the state told you to do. And here appears something very close to you, something that touches you, and you read it and you understand that somebody is so similar to your personal life. And you don't know about every person's life and their internal household and stuff. You don't know what the pipe cleaner would do. And they give you how it looks like, what I can learn from it. I don't know anything about my feelings. I don't know what's to love. I don't know what's to hate. But here in the book, they write how to hate and how to love. So as Katya said about the neurons, so it's kind of a similar theme. You learn from it, and you learn from it because it was the source of a life that you don't know yet, or you are not familiar with, or it is too far from you and you don't have a chance to learn. The same with the TV series. If you look at it, most of the time it's just a simple person. That's a human being. That's not we have some of them that are sci-fis and we have some monsters and stuff, but it's most of the time it's just human beings with their feelings. And again, we get connected with them. We start copying their haircuts. If somebody wants, I can give you my diploma about how friends actually influence the pop culture in the United States. We're copying their attitude. So when you come, for example, when you come to the hospital, you come and you see, I want to go to an MRI, and I want my brain checked, and I need Dr. House, and I need those beautiful people running around me and helping me. And why is our healthcare so bad? Why is nobody helping me? It's because TV shows has formed your image, your image of it. You haven't had so much experience about it, but right now you see it, and you are just projecting it into your own life. And the other thing is that people who are playing in those TV series, they're just people, just simple people. You can connect to them. You can say, oh yeah, I have a friend like this. Oh yeah, she's so Rachel. Oh yeah, she's so Rachel from The Suits. Or any other Rachel. So you're just like copying the stuff they're having because you see the familiarities. And afterwards, that is your free time you're sharing with TV shows or novels. The free time meaning we don't always want to go out with our friends. We cannot always travel somewhere and learn from somebody. Like we have to have some kind of a free, very approachable entertainment, some kind of a rest. And both novels and TV series bring it to life. You're just having this fun looking and reading what people are doing. And that is the last part I wanted to tell you. We all have this, I cannot even remember how we call it scientifically, but people like to talk about other people. People like to know what other people are doing. That's why we like soap operas. That's why we love so much drama, because we love to talk what Nina did yesterday or whom she slept with. That's just people's nature. And that is also the window to that life. If you don't have friends or you don't have a life, for you have novels and you have TV shows. Here you go. Go ahead and learn from them. So that is pretty much why TV shows have become the novels of a visual era. And if you don't believe me, then I strongly advise you to listen to or to read about or to watch the conference that is called The Big Bang Theory of TV Series that was held by the Russian periodical Logos, if somebody knows it. I can send you a link to it. And they pretty much show how TV series are our times novels and how they influence our life and how we actually can learn from them and how we can bring new ideas to life thanks to TV series. So in a flex way, TV and, okay, I'm not, oh, that was supposed to be such a good moment. So, TV shows and books, not better or worse, they're just different.
Okay, my friends, I thank you for coming. And I have two separate announcements for Flex alumni and for GV alumni. For Flex alumni, the application process for Global Village will begin this winter. You have my contacts if you want me to tell you more about the program. And September 30, we will organize a presentation of the program. So stay tuned, and I will be happy to tell you more about it. For GV alumni, if you are free to stay and hang out with us a little bit more, we would really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you.